Welcome students. As we have already started our first unit of our business law subject, that is Indian Contract Act of 1872, right? So in the last lectures we have studied about different kinds of Indian contracts, and we have about to start our essential elements under section 10 of Indian Contract Act. So in this video we are going to have a first essential element of Indian Contract Act under section 10, that is offer and acceptance. Offer and acceptance is our first essential element to make a valid contract under the context of Indian Contract Act of 1872. Now moving ahead, what is offer and acceptance? There's the offer and acceptance are the two basic elements which comprise an agreement. It's nothing but it gives birth to an agreement. One person makes an offer to another person, that is, one person who is making an offer is said to be an offerer, and the person who is accepting that particular offer is said to be an offeree. So we have two parties in particular offer and acceptance. We have an offerer and offeree, right? Now when it comes to the meaning of offer is said to be a proposal as well. So when it comes to the meaning of offer, we have an offer is a proposal. It's nothing but a proposal by one party to another to enter into a legally binding agreement by him, but that is by a offerer. A proposal is an expression of will or intention to create a legal obligation to enter into a valid contract or valid agreement is said to be an offer. Right? Now, a person making the proposal expresses, he is expressing that he is willing to enter into a contract on the terms stated by the offerer. The same terms should be accepted by the acceptor, that is an offerer, and then it is said to be a valid agreement, as it gives birth to an agreement. As I told you in the last slide itself, offer and acceptance are the two basic elements which gives the birth to an agreement. So here legal obligation is very mandatory to make a agreement as a valid agreement. Now moving ahead, we have a definition of offer under section 2 clause A, or as you can say under section 2 subsection A of Indian Contract Act. So when it comes to the definition, we have when one party signifies to another his willings to do or abstains from doing anything with a view to obtaining the assent, or we can say consent of that particular person, that is the offerer who is giving an offer to the another person. So that offerer is expecting some assent, his assent from that offeree is said to be an offer. Got it? Now moving ahead, we have different kinds of our offer. Now we have an express offer. What does it mean? When the offer expressly communication the offer is said to be an express offer. So the express communication of the offer may be made by spoken words or written words. Got it? So it is said to be an express offer. Now when it comes to the implied offer, it is nothing but when the offer is not communicated expressly, that is not by a spoken words or not in a written words, an offer may be implied from the conduct of the parties or the circumstances of the case. That is said to be a implied offer. Now moving further, we have a specific offer. It means an offer made for a particular person or to a particular person or a group of persons. It can be accepted only by that person to whom it is made. Not an acceptance given by the third party is not a specific offer. So it is specifically the offer is made to a specific group of persons or a particular individual, and the consent to be expected from that particular person is said to be a specific offer. Got it? Now moving further, we have general offer. What does it mean? This particular kind of offer, it is explaining that it is a general offer. General offer is nothing but it is the offer made to a public in general. So it is a general offer, and the acceptance accepted by any one of the person. It is not a specific offer, right? So it is a general offer. Hope you understood. Now general offer can be accepted by anyone. Yes, because it is a offer made to a person in general, not to a specific person, that the acceptance has to be received by that particular person. It is not a specific offer, right? So general offer may be accepted by anyone. So for example, if I say one, for example, information about a thief of a certain property or finding of specific thing of anyone, that is a general offer, right? So here we have a general offer. Again, with the help of this table, you can easily identify, or you can easily able to understand what is a general offer and what is specific offer. And again, with the help of example, you can easily identify what is general and specific offer. Now again, moving further, we have a counter offer. Now what is counter offer? So now we have a counter offer. So what does it mean? When the offeree gives qualified acceptance of the offer subject to modified and variations in the terms of original offer, then it is said to be a counter offer. This can be easily explained you with the help of this particular illustration. So in this illustration says that in this illustration A is making an offer to B that he is willing to sell his house to B for rupees 10 lakhs, right? In this case, A is an offerer and B is an offeree, because A is giving an offer to B and B is accepting. So that is the reason why B is an offeree here. Now we need to understand certain basic aspects of contract. Like now in this slide, A is making this statement that he is willing to sell his house to B for how much rupees? For 10 lakh rupees. Here he is specifying two things. Absolutely clear that A is specifying two things. What A has made two statements here. In the first statement, what A is willing to do? A is willing to sell his house to B for 10 lakh rupees, and what is A expecting to B to do in return? He is expecting B to pay that sum of 10 lakh rupees, right? What is important here is meeting of minds, as I told you in the last slide itself. Meeting of minds is very important here. So that means, what does it mean? Meeting of minds is nothing but when an offer is made and an acceptance is made, there has to be meeting of minds by both the parties, that is an offerer and offeree, and parties making the offer and party with giving an acceptance, they both are agreeing upon the same thing in a same manner. Then it is said to be a valid acceptance. Now what is a counter offer, right? So we are about to know what is a counter offer. Now with the same example here, I am explaining you what is counter offer. Now for example, say B should be willing to buy the same house for the same amount of money, then it is an offer and acceptance by from A to B, and B is giving his acceptance by accepting the 10 lakh rupees for paying particular A's house, right? Now when a counter offer came into existence, when even B is making a slight deviation. Say for example, B says that I am not going to buy this house, I am going to buy the other house. Is a slight deviation or slight changes that he is making, he is expressing to A, that is an offerer. Again, if B says that I am not going to buy it for 10 lakh rupees, I am going to buy it for some 9 lakh or 9.5 lakh rupees, right? It is again slight deviation or slight changes that B has made, then it is said to be a counter offer. Got it? So with this example, I hope that you understood what is counter offer. Now we have some legal rules regarding valid offer. So when an offer is said to be a valid offer, when these legal rules have implemented in that particular offer, then it is said to be a valid